Oh, hi, David. How are you? I'm just reminiscing on the days before I was a married man and had a baby, and I don't remember a thing. Hey, look, I'm sorry I can't be there with you and with everybody, all the rest of the boys, to celebrate the impending arrival of Cynthia. Very excited, as maybe as excited as you are, knowing that feeling as she makes her way into the world. Um, but instead of me being there, I was hoping I thought I'd give you a video preview of maybe some of the things to expect with early fatherhood. That some bits of advice that I wish I'd had when Avery came into the world that nobody really tells you. So follow me into the living room here, and come on, everybody. Come on in. Oh, Woody. Hi, Woody. He's going to help us out. Get out of the way. The first thing you'll notice, David, is that everything with a baby kind of becomes miniature. Everything shrinks to baby size, and that explains why we're sitting here. But so, David, I want to drop some knowledge on you, and I came up with a few things, a few drops of knowledge that may be helpful to you as you get fatherhood and really grab it by the nuts. And the first thing is advanced. David, I'm not gonna waste your time with diapers 101. We're gonna go right to advanced diapers, and I think there are a few things that you can apply your the knowledge you and the experience you gained in the Navy. There's the dog. Being in the Navy. Back up here. Being in the Navy, you learn some things about efficiency and precision. About those hard creases you put into your shirts and your pants. And there's something about changing diapers that you can learn to apply those skills to. So we're going to start with Curious George over here, who's George, did you just shit your pants? Let's change you, George. It's time to change your pants. Oh, ooh, George. So David, we have a box of baby wipes, and look, man, these things go fast, and in the long run, they're not cheap. So make good use of them. This is what we're going to learn today. So George has got a mess in his shorts. Whew. Wow. So here's the thing. No matter how big a disaster is in his drawers, you can really stretch out a single baby wipe. This is a single baby wipe, and instead of bunching it up and just going at it and just throwing them aside and getting another one, learn how to get the most out of every single wipe. And here's how you can apply some of those skills you learned in the Navy. So the first thing you want to do is get one of those legs and just you want to get in close. Come on in close. Get in here. Just look at that chaos. You're going to want to apply a first, probably swipe this way and maybe even back under, lift that ass up and just get under there. Okay, you've probably at this point just got a mess, a pile of junk. But don't toss this swipe. There's still a lot of good here. Here's what we do. What do? We fold it in half. Fold it in half. And we've got a whole new surface with which to work. Go back in. You've got more to do. You got to get the other cheek. Get back under there. Get back under there. Oh, on this side we're full. Imagine that, just piles of hair. Just stinky brown, whatever color it is at certain points. We got one more fold to go probably. See how this works? Now here's the other thing they teach you and they tell you about changing diapers and about changing a girl's diaper and cleaning her up. They say, don't wipe forward because you get stuff caught in the hoo-hoo, and what do you can't leave it in there. That's wrong. You can wipe forward. Just make sure it's not the last wipe you do, because look, here's what's going to happen. You're going to be gathering stuff in. You're going to be gathering stuff around, pulling it towards the middle, and you might have to make one swipe up here just to get some leverage under there to get that last scoop of poop out. So get it there, but then make sure that last one is away. That's all. Okay? That's all. And you may be able to do it in one wipe. I'm just saying, it's possible. If you have to go to number 2, don't feel like you've been defeated. Sometimes it's good to get a clean baby wipe just to get a nice good rinse in there. So that's advanced diapers. I think that's stuff that I wish I'd known that nobody tells you about. Beware the classics. What does that mean? Well, there's a lot of children's books that we grew up with, right? That we're all really familiar, and some memorable characters that live with you. And there's a reason. And there's a reason why they're still around, and we're still reading to our children. The first one is Curious George. We know Curious George. He's a sweet little mischievous monkey who gets in a lot of trouble. What you don't know, and the thing about these classics, though, David, and this is why we're going to beware, because they're not how you remember them. When you read them to your kid, you realize there are aspects of these books that'll terrify you as an adult, that should have haunted you as a child, but somehow it was over your head. But when you're reading to your child, only then do you realize how R-rated they truly are. First, we start off with Curious George, the very first Curious George story written I don't know how many decades ago. This is George in the forest, swinging on a vine, having his little banana. Happy George. Oh great! Oh great! Oh! Some little man with a yellow hat with a pair of binoculars spies George on the vine. He sets an ambush for George with his yellow hat. George sneaks up to the yellow hat. What's going on? Oh, I'm just gonna check out this little hat. It's strange. It looks kind of like a fun little yellow hat. I'm gonna put it on and walk around. What happens next? Oh, the little man comes out of nowhere and puts George in a bag, ties him up, and kidnaps him. Takes him away from his natural habitat, puts him on a boat, and they go to the city as if everything's okay. We're supposed to believe that George is fine with that, but he's been taken away from his family, his people. I don't know. I'd say beware of Curious George. It's a lie. It's a crime. The other one, the story of Babar. Remember Babar, the elephant? A sweet little elephant with a happy little life. He wore people's clothes and hats eventually, but we know that Babar, come in close, we can see, Babar is born a little elephant in a great forest. His mother loves him very much. She rocks him to sleep with her trunk while singing softly. Oh, and you know, Babar is part of this large neighborhood of elephants frolicking and playing games in the water and in the forest and the mountains, and playing sandcastles and stuff like that. I mean, what a great life for Babar. Oh, what's happening next? Oh, out of nowhere, a hunter comes and shoots his mother dead. Page 3, mother murdered in cold blood. It was probably the man with the yellow hat shot Babar's mom. So how do you go on after that? You got to put the book down. Can't read that to children. Poor Babar. You're supposed to believe everything's okay after that. Beware. The other one is The Goodnight Moon. Now this is a sweet book. You can see the state of this copy of a book. I've probably read it 800 and how old is Avery? 23 months. 873 times. I think I've probably read this book. And you know, when you read it, you know, it's a memorable. The colors and the pictures elicits really fond memories of how we were soothed to sleep when we were babies. You know, saying goodnight to all things in the house and the bears and the cow jumping over the moon. But when you read it, and it may not occur to you the first time, but the more you read it, the more you are haunted by a few things in this book. First of all, that lady, the old lady, whispering hush. I don't know what she's doing there. She's there at the end of the book when everything is quiet and everything has been said goodnight to, but that old lady is still sitting in the corner whispering hush. She has no plans of going anywhere. That begins to creep up on you in a big way. But then there's these two pages, which I think are probably, and I've read some books, probably the two saddest pages in all of literature, for that matter. And they simply say, "Good night, nobody. Good night, mush." I mean, it's the kind of sadness that, you know, that feeling like when you're driving somewhere at night, and you're trying to get somewhere, but you have to stop off at like a gas station, convenience store to go like buy one of those preheated burritos, and you got in your car and you're sitting in the parking lot, you're eating that burrito alone, like that kind of sad eating. That's the kind of after you read this 800 times, that's the kind of like sadness that comes over you, that kind of loneliness that comes over you when you see "Good night, nobody," "Good night, mush." I mean, what's that? What is that bowl of mush? Why is it? It's just going to sit there all night. Nope. Nope. Who's going to clean that up? You know who's going to clean that bowl of mush up? Nobody. Nobody. That thing is waiting for you in the morning, dried, crusty bowl of mush, just sitting on the fucking table. So, these are the kinds of things that you should be aware of. I mean, baby Cynthia is probably not going to be catching up to these things at a young age, but you as a father should know. Beware. And the last bit of advice, I guess, well, up on the board here is give the dog a bone. And what I mean by that is the baby's going to be taking up a lot of your time, understandably, and as she should. You're going to be waiting hand and foot on the baby and on Bridget, as you should. But remember Kirby. Don't forget Kirby. When you have a dog and the dog's been in your life for that long, you need to remember the dog is also your child. It has always been your child. You have 2 children. You got the baby, and you've got somebody like this. Come here, Buster. Oh, come here. Oh, come here. Woody needs attention. He needs love. And, when you first bring the baby home, the dog's not going to know what's going on. Not going to know who that strange person is. Woody, not going to sit still. Sit still. And sit. Good boy. Good boy. I love you. Always needs playtime. Take the dog for walks. It lets you get fresh air. It lets you talk to the dog, because he's going to be the only other male in the house. So you need that boy bonding. So use it, because he's not going to talk back. He's going to look at you. He's going to smile at you, give you stupid faces. But I think he understands. And in time, Woody, or Kirby, as Woody has, will come to understand who this strange person is. Come to love them. Come to love her, and he'll be good. And overall, in all seriousness, David, I wish I could be there. They say when you ask somebody who has children, what's it like being a parent, and I remember getting that kind of vague response like, it's like nothing else in the world. And I know what that means. You don't know what that means until you bring that baby home, and actually, that's about as good a description I think as you'll get, and you can understand is that when you're in that world with this new child, and that baby becomes your world, everything you're doing for it, all the diaper changes and the holding and the rocking to sleep and the soothing, that is like nothing else you've ever done in your life, and it is as exhausting as it is. As much as you're in the thick of it, it's great. It's the best thing you'll ever do, and it becomes the most meaningful thing in your life. And I know you'll be great. I know you have the heart. You have a heart as huge as anybody. And if I had one more bit of advice, it would just be in those early days and weeks, give everything you can to Bridget. Unendingly, unconditionally, and be there for all supporting matters, and you'll be fine. And since we're both dads of baby girls, I think we've got a lot to share. And the baby girl the babiness is still very fresh in my mind, and I'm obviously here whenever you have questions or needs, and I can't wait to meet her soon. All right. Have a good time. I love you. And we'll see you soon.